So the number one question that we get on our streams all the time is, how do you get all of these packs? Where do you get your inventory? Scalper is the reason why we don't have any products on our shelves. Do you go to your local Target, Walmart, Costco, Sam's Club to get all your products? So in this video, I'm going to be sharing the 3 ways that we mainly source our products. So if that's something that you're interested in, stick around. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Moon. I've been in the Pokemon hobby business for the past 3 years. I primarily stream, and I've been streaming for 3 years. You can check us out on Whatnot and TikTok, and hopefully in the future, YouTube. So make sure you guys subscribe, comment down below what you think about this video, and of course, give it a thumbs up and turn on notifications. So there are 3 things that I want to get out the way before we start this video. Number 1, I do not have any sort of connection to distribution or distributors where I can find wholesale products, and it's been that way since day 1 for the past 3 years. Number 2, I have never lined up at my local card shop or even at a retail shop to wait for inventory, to source for inventory. And number 3, I am not part of any groups where I can find early drops, nor do I use bots to try to scalp every single product out in the market. A lot of times when we share this on our streams, most of the times they don't believe us. We tell them that we don't have any distribution, and people don't believe us because they think that the only way to get that many products is to have some level of connection with like a retail store or distribution. But we buy practically everything at market or close to market. So we always say there's plenty of product out there, just not at the price that you want them, but they are plentiful at market. If you're not familiar with what market prices are, you can go to a website called tcgplayer.com. It's an amazing website where you can find prices of singled and sealed products, and most people use that as a reference point for prices. So if you're not sure what the price of your packs are or your booster boxes or your cards are, you can search it up on tcgplayer.com and you can find the prices on there. But the goal is to always try to find products slightly below market, whether it's 90% or 85%, which is another terms for like a 10 to 15% discount, because that's the fees on these types of platforms like TCG Player and eBay. And then we try to sell it at market or slightly above market to make our margin. So that's kind of where our margins come in. For example, if the market price of a box is $100, my goal is to try to buy it at $85, and then on my stream charge $110, and after fees and whatever that may be, that will be my margin or my profit. Now, why would we charge over market for something that you can buy at market? Streaming is a service-based business, right? If we can sell at market, we wouldn't stream at all. We would sell on eBay or Facebook Marketplace or go to a card show and trade it in, but we're selling it as a service, therefore there's a service fee on top. Think of it that way. It's the same way why we pay extra for Uber, for DoorDash. We know we can go and buy food significantly cheaper, but we like the service that DoorDash and Uber Eats and all these places provide, so we're willing to pay a little bit extra. We save time. And that same way, that's why we charge a little bit more. So if I can't find product at retail stores, or if I don't have a distribution and I can't find wholesale products, where can I find product? The number 1 way that we get our products, and this is probably like 85 to like 90% of the way that we receive our products, is by connecting with people that are in the hobby and in the business through a Facebook Marketplace or like Facebook groups or just any groups in general. Sometimes you can meet these people at like card shops, you can meet them on Facebook Marketplace, or you can join like a ton of different Facebook groups. Like, I know Facebook is outdated for a lot of the younger people, but it's a great place to do business, especially when you're trying to buy, sell, and trade things. If you're going to be in the Pokemon business, the first thing that you should do is create a Facebook account. If you have one, go search up like Pokemon, buy, sell, trade, trading card. There's a lot of keywords that you can use to join these groups. Once you're in it, you'll scroll down and you'll see that a lot of people are either buying, selling, or trading. And once you're in these groups, you'll find people list things and sell like, I'm trying to sell 10 booster boxes of Phantasmal Flames, selling 100 booster bundles of Prismatic Evolutions for X amount of dollars. And what I would do is I would typically click on their name, send them a message and be like, hey, I'm interested in buying everything out. We'll negotiate prices. Once we settle on a price, I would send them money. They would send me the product. And that's how we usually get product for our streams. Now, there are basic procedures, kind of how to do these deals, and I'll go over them really quickly. Number one, you always have to ask for a timestamp. So just because someone claims that they have certain products, is you want them to write down their name and the date on a piece of paper and put it next to the product. Usually like a photo timestamp is enough, but I like to always ask for a video timestamp because photos can be edited, but videos, most people can't edit and change the date and all that stuff. Like, for example, I can find a photo of like 100 ETBs of Ascended Heroes, and I can just Photoshop a piece of paper in there with my name and the date and claim those 100 ETBs are mine. But if I ask for a video, like a video timestamp, I can't edit that. That's extremely hard. And for the average person, I would say like 99.9% of the people can't fake that. Second, if I'm trying to buy something from somebody, I would search up their name within that Facebook group or other Facebook groups to see if they have done deals previously, or I would check their Instagram if they're like sort of like a business to see how long has their history been on that Instagram, how long have they been doing business. And if you see that they've been doing business for a long time and there are no negative feedbacks about this person, then most likely I'll proceed to do a deal with them. And number three, you always must, and this is like a non-negotiable for me, especially if it's like a new person or a first-time deal, use PayPal goods and services only. Do not wire them money. Do not use friends and family for PayPal, but only use PayPal goods and services. This is because you want to be able to protect yourself, not as just a buyer, but if you're selling things as well, sometimes you want to protect yourself as a seller as well. Of course, there is like a 3% fee with PayPal goods and services, but it's better to pay that 3% fee to save yourself from like thousands of dollars worth of headaches later on. You have to understand, like, someone who's kind of just doing this to flip can literally scam you of your money and you'll never get your money back, right? Because they have nothing to lose and you have more to lose. But if someone in the hobby or someone in the business has like $1 million worth of inventory or hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of inventory, one bad deal and one bad rep is going to make them stuck with all this inventory. So they're going to make sure they do business properly. And these are like the people that I like to do deals with. So like I shared earlier, this is the primary way that we source our inventory. I will spend hours on the computer, on my phone, scrolling, trying to see if anybody is selling anything. Sometimes I'll get like a whole lot of inventory from like one person, but sometimes I'll do deals with like 12 to 15 different people and I'll get like a bunch of shipment and then I have to open them up and have to make sure everything's there. And when you open up these products, make sure you guys are always recording them to make sure you have record of like, oh, I didn't get everything in the event that they don't send everything. For the most part, I've never had that kind of issue doing this for 3 years, but you always want to still record everything for documentation purposes. Now, the nice thing about this is that the longer you do this, the circle of people that you do deals with gets smaller and smaller and smaller, but the quality of the people that you work with increases. You start to realize, oh, this is like the one person I can really go to get like 100 plus stuff rather than asking for like 5 little things from like 10 different people. You are building business partners. And that's the most important thing about this entire process is about you're trying to figure out your group of people that you want to work with long term. And the reason why I prefer to buy at market or close to market and do it this way is because there are 3 reasons. Number one, you are able to save a ton of time and energy. When I first started streaming, a lot of the ways that I would try to find product is by going to like Target, GameStop, Best Buy. Sometimes Costco would have drops. Sam's Club really didn't have much products until more recently. But then one of the downfall was like I would go to these places and they wouldn't have any product. So I would go to the next place and they would have nothing. I live in California, like Orange County, LA area, and you can literally find nothing here because everybody is buying everything out. I've wasted time. I've wasted gas money. My day is gone and I'm just tired. And all I have left is like a few packs in my car. And I'm like, I could have literally just worked at a minimum paying job made money and buy at market, and I would have had more inventory. Number two is that you can access quantity. So you can't buy 1,000 packs of prismatic evolutions by walking into a local Target. It's not possible because Target doesn't get that many. You can't do that at GameStop because GameStop doesn't hold that many. The only way you can access quantity at that level of a stream level, at least that we need, is by sourcing it from all across the world from different people and having it shipped to you. I only have access to a 20 to 30 mile radius within my city, but if I do deals with people online that have Pokemon product at their local city and their states, well, then now I have access to the entire state. Oftentimes when you have distribution, you are required to, I don't know, I've never had distribution, so I don't know, but I hear stories all the time of distributors will say like you have to take X amount of stuff in order to get this many stuff. For example, like you have to take all these battle decks and sleeves and binders and top. Like they'll tell you to buy all these things in order to get access to like 5 cases of Phantasmal Flames. And to me, like, I don't know, like 5 cases go by so fast for us. It's just really not worth it. If I'm picking up all this plus this and I have all of this stuff, isn't it the same thing as just me buying at market or close to market? Like, it just seems very like, but I just want to hold the things I want to hold because space is an issue for some people, right? And number 3, if you do good deals with others and you take care of them, they will take care of you. The reality of the hobby is that it's become what it is, and it's become like a very money hungry grab, business opportunity kind of feel. And we can't do anything about that. It's just what the market is. The market is the market, and it'll continue to be the market and do what the market does. We can either ride the wave or be left behind. But while you ride the wave, why not seize the opportunity, take the opportunity to make the most of it? And I think that's what makes the Pokemon hobby so fun, because if all this money never entered into the market, Pokemon would still be, in my opinion, pretty dead and people wouldn't really be interested. But it's really exciting, and that's why all of us are in it. When I buy product at market price, a lot of people will say things like, don't feed the scalpers. But in my opinion, it's like the economy is hard for some people, like a lot of people actually. And if I could buy this at this price from this person, and that money can help their kids go through college, or this person go through college, or help a little bit with their rent, I'd be more than willing to help, because if they can help me get product, because product at the end of the day is fuel for our stream. Without product, we have no stream. So they're helping me, right? They're smarter, they're more savvy, they should get paid for that. So I'm going to pay them for that. I get product, and now I'm able to sell that product, make a margin on that, and run the stream continuously as well. There is going to come a time when you are going to try to sell your Pokemon collection. All right, hear this very carefully. There's going to come a time when you're going to want to sell your Pokemon collection, and you are going to want close to market price. You hear me? Like, you're not going to go to the seller and be like, yeah, I'll give you what I paid for initially. Nobody does that. Everyone's going to input all their collection into an app. They're going to check out what their market price is, and they're going to ask for market price. There's a double standard, right? You can't complain about people selling things at market and then you wanting to sell your stuff at market. That's just the state of the hobby. It's just something that we have to accept to move forward. Anyway, that's enough time on point number 1. We're going to go to point number 2. So the number 2 way that we get our products is through online. There are times where I will just sit online and Google Pokemon card shop, or I'll type in a specific set like Phantasmal Flames booster box or Ascended Heroes ETB. And oftentimes a lot of these like card shops will pop up. I'll click on it and I'll try to see like, ooh, I wonder what they have. Oftentimes they're pretty much right around TCG player price, sometimes a little bit over. Sometimes it's better to pay a slight premium for almost a guarantee, because you know these people are reputable, versus paying something a little cheaper and never receiving it, or receiving something that's damaged. But one of the nice things about shopping on like card websites, is that you're able to access quantity. Going back to quantity again, like, yes, hypothetically, you can go to TCG Player and buy from 10 different sellers, but now you have 10 different trackings. You have to keep track of every 10 orders, and you just don't know which one's going to be trusted or not, versus paying like $5 extra per booster box from one website where it's trusted and only tracking one tracking. It's just way easier, way safer, and you know that you're going to get your product from this seller. I would say this is like where we get like about 10 10% of our inventory, and sometimes it's like the majority of our inventory. It really depends on the set. Sets like Prismatic Evolutions and Ascended Heroes, like a week before release, people were asking us like, hey, are you getting Prismatic? Hey, are you getting Ascended Heroes? And I'm like, dude, we have nothing. Like because we get our stuff from people who get at retail stores, right? We get it from the quote unquote, what you guys call scalpers. I don't think they're scalpers. I get where you guys are coming from, but that's a whole different video, whole different topic. But because we don't get our products until it's released into the public, we have nothing. But card shops, they do get them early. And that's why pre-orders or trying to get quantity in product at card shops are really helpful with a new set. So for example, for Prismatic, I had to order from this specific website. I'm not going to mention who they are. I saw how many they had in their shop and I had to clear them out. I was like, I'm going to buy out everything that they have because they were trusted. How do you know that they're trusted? Well, make sure you do your research, see if they have an Instagram, Facebook, check out their website, see how long they've been in business. Can they be reliable? You can Google all that stuff now. After I bought out the entire store, the owner emailed me. I got to build some level of connection with them or relationship with this person. And now once in a while, the owner of the store will actually email me and be like, hey Moon, we have like this, and this. Would you like some of our products? And I'll say yes, no, depending on what the product is. Another example is for Ascended Heroes. I had 0 ETBs. I had no idea where to get ETBs. So I was like looking around and one of the card shops that I usually buy from online had them. So I communicate with the owner and see if there was a way where I can order it, but I can go pick it up. And so I ordered the exact amount of how much can fit in my car. After everything, I drove over to their shop, picked it up, came back, pretty much buying everything at TCG player price. Could I have tried to negotiate and try to get things lower and lower and lower? Probably, but like I'm the type of guy where like I don't want to negotiate too much with people I like working with. We're going to call this person David, for example. David's the guy editing this video right now, but we're going to call this guy David. Like, I don't want to negotiate so low with David to the point where David no longer likes working with me because I'm so hard to deal with. Because David always shares stories with me of like, oh, dude, I work with this card shop and this card shop, and they always want to ask for lower. And every time I don't, they want this. Like, he gets very frustrated. And low key, sometimes he'll tell me like, yeah, I'm deciding to pull out and not do deals with these people anymore because they're really difficult to work with. I don't want to be a difficult person to work with. I want to be a person where I'm able to take care of David and David is able to take care of me. And so I want to keep that relationship. So I never mind buying at market price, even though I'm buying in quantities. I'm spending like hundreds and thousands of dollars on inventory, but I do not mind not asking for a discount just because I want to keep that relationship. This is a marathon. This is a long game. So the key in this hobby, especially in Pokemon and the trading card business, is to have good reputation. Your reputation is everything on this. You can build something for 20 years and it'll be gone in one day through one bad mistake. With Japanese product, very similar thing. Do a background check, make sure they're reputable, make sure you're not buying from a first-time seller or a new seller. They do use a different payment system called Wise. Wise is very trusted. I've used them for years. And yeah, I think that could be a whole different video for another time. But for English stuff, that's how we get from online to in person. But the third way we're going to talk about, though, this is the final way, and this is kind of the shortest section of the entire video, is by buying out collections. So when you join a lot of these Facebook groups and these groups in general, at least once a week, it happens at least once a week, if not once a day, people will fire sell their collection. Either they have a big payment, a big bill, or they just want to exit the hobby, or the market's dipping and they just want to exit out before it goes lower, which a lot of times it hasn't, right? It's always bounced back up. But people will be like, hey, I'm selling my entire collection for 80%, for 75%, for 85%, whatever they're asking for. They'll post their entire collection. Let's say it's a $10,000 collection and they want to sell it for $7,500. That's a great deal. Like, I would most likely jump on that deal based on the things that they are selling. And so if I could buy an entire collection out for a 25% discount and pick up inventory sealed, and I can pick up singles for my personal collection and slabs for future uses of the business, why wouldn't I jump on it when most people are asking for like 100%? So buying out collection is one way to source inventory. It is not my primary way of sourcing inventory. People who do like single stream or like mystery bags or slab streams, they're more active in buying out people's collections. But people usually for myself who do stream more sealed stuff, the singles and slabs help with like my personal collection and with like single streams and stuff like that. But it's always nice when people have sealed stuff within their collection. So it's like buy everything out, sell the singles and slabs, and what you're left over is sealed stuff. I would say this is like how we get like 5% of our inventory. It's a very, very small amount. Sometimes it's big. I think the largest collection I've ever bought out was like 50 to 60K, but that was a big one. So think about that in terms of percentage wise. If I bought that at like 80%, 75%, there's a fair amount of margin there. A lot more work to do, but there is margin there. So those are the three main ways that we as Pokemoon, our streams, source inventory. Now, the last tip I want to share before we end this video is to not get too greedy in this market, right? Sometimes we want like a $5 discount or a $10 discount. And because we're not willing to move, we don't make that sale or we don't buy that collection. One thing you'll learn about this market is that even if you pay a little bit extra, you'll look back in a year or two and you'll be like, man, I'm so glad I bought them. And most times you don't even remember what price you bought them at. A great example is like Prismatic Evolution ETBs. People were like selling them for like anywhere between $100 to $115. And I didn't care if they were selling at $115 or $100. If I just found any in that range, I just bought them. And now they're almost at $170 per ETB. I learned this lesson when I went to a card show like 2 years ago. And someone was trying to sell their special delivery Pikachu in a PSA 10 for like a few $100s. It was really, really cheap. But I was like being very stingy. I don't know why. I just wanted to, I love the haggle and the negotiation. And I was like, no, I want it at this price. And I kept negotiating with this person. I just wanted like a $10 discount. That's it. And the guy was like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. And I was like, all right, that's fine. That's cool, right? So I didn't do the deal. Looking back now, man, I wish I did the deal. You know, like I wish I would just attempt extra dollars. I wish I did it. There was another time when I was able to buy Evolving Skies cases for $1,200, but I wanted $1,100 for them because I bought them at $1,100 at the time. And I was like, because I was able to buy them at $1,100, I want them for $11, not $12. Hindsight, I'm like, dude, Eddie, why didn't you just get them at 12? What were you thinking? And today, if I just find like a decent deal that's like, you know what, it's pretty close to market. Like, I like it. I like the set. Let's do it. I'll pick up whatever I can because what is a good deal today may not be there tomorrow. Like, I'm being dead serious. Like, there are so many times you and myself, we found a good deal. Maybe if no one picks it up by tomorrow, like, I'll take it. And then tomorrow arrives and you message him and it's gone. So when you ever see a good deal on anything, don't even think. You shoot first, you aim later. And that's what you do. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope it was educational. And if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. If there's any part of the video that you agree with or you disagree with or things you have questions about, also let me know in the comment section down below. But I appreciate you. I love you all. Make sure you guys check us out on TikTok, on Whatnot. Links are all down below. Instagram, all social links down below. David, you know what to do. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Good night, good morning. Adios.